You know, obviously these last 5 or 6 months, um, myself and my wife and my family has walked on a unexpected journey of tragedy and suffering and trial. And, inside of that, there's been some sort of public element to it. And so there's this weight that comes with that of asking myself, what do I say, you know? And I think that's a really heavy question and a really hard question, because I think first off, it's not about me. And even in all of my grief and my suffering and the pain that I've felt, so much of that weight is in trying to understand other people's suffering through the tragedy. And the other part of it is that there is nothing to say. There are no words to ever formulate the emotions that come from such a painful moment, an experience and memory. And so I think so much of my heart over these last 5 months, as I've healed and taken that walk with the Lord of healing, has just been to walk in silence and knowing that He's my protector and my defender, and He is sovereign in all things. And in the journey of that, there is an incredible testimony. And there's a testimony in my life and in my heart of experiencing God in unfathomable ways, and the presence of Jesus in ways that are beyond comprehension from that darkest valley. And so walking the line of balancing those two emotions together, it's really challenging when I speak about it. And even now I'm clearly cautious in my words, because the mix of deep suffering and tragedy and in what happened, mixed with the trueness and the realness and the kindness of the Father I felt in those moments is something that really matters to me. And on the journey that I've walked, it's been like God was there at every moment for me, and He was protecting me at every moment in my heart and in my mind, and in every angle. It was like in a moment in time, in the most unexpected moment of my life, it felt like a tornado blew through my life and my family, and all I had to hold on to in that was the rock of Christ. And I learned in that He was more than enough. That if all I ever had was Him, I was perfectly okay. And so in the days and weeks and months following, it was like there were so many miracles that I was seeing where like the hand of God was just, in His kindness, was loving me. And there was one story I wanted to share because it's really simple, and but it just speaks to the nuances of walking with the Lord. But 2 days after the accident, in the mail I received this journal. And this journal it was sent to me before the accident happened. And it was sent to me without me knowing it. I didn't know this was coming. And it was sent to me by the person who made it. And so 2 days after the accident happens, I received in the mail an empty journal. And on the front page, it just said, "For I know the plans I have for you." And so I remember Leah getting the mail that day and bringing it to me. She said, "Hey, this came for you." And it was this journal that just said, "For I know the plans I have for you." And even in just that moment, it was a smile from the Lord I felt, and reassurance that even in the darkest moments that break his heart too, he is faithful and he is sovereign. And there will never be a moment that I understand what happened or why it happened. But I also know that we have a Father who cares. And so I began to write in this journal through the whole journey, and I filled up every page the first few months. And a week or two after the accident, I wrote this poem, and as I thought about talking and taking a moment just to speak for the first time about everything, I wanted to read this journal because I do think that in the weight of balancing tragedy and suffering with the reality of God that I learned through experience, I think that this poem I wrote to the Lord says it better than I probably could in a nervous conversation. But I wrote this, and it said, "I have felt the presence of God, closer than a friend. He is kind, gentle, and a fierce defender. His light came alive, the spirit within me magnified, for he kept every promise." The ones he spoke over 2,000 years ago, he held true. He said he is near. He said he is near to those who mourn, the brokenhearted, the poor in spirit, in the valley of death. He is there, and he has kept every promise. For in my moments of greatest despair, I felt a shield. On every side of me, the arrows could not pierce me. People mocked me, protesting profanity at my name, but God held me tight within his arms. Like a father, he took upon every side. He thought to place protection on each corner of the house. Though destruction lingered at the gates, gaining strength day by day, he kept his watchmen alert in day and in night. The world looked upon me, some in laughter, some in pity, some in anger. Yet I stood strong. Within me was something beyond understanding, the peace of the Lord. In the face of tragedy, my soul wept. Yes, in the face of tragedy, my soul wept. Yet in the face of suffering, my soul rejoiced, because I learned that all I had ever hoped for was actually true. And now I stand with the few who have known darkness enough to say, I have felt the presence of God closer than a friend. He is kind, he is gentle, and he is a fierce defender.